I am 94 years old. And in 9 decades of watching people live, and watching them die, I have seen the same mistake repeated so many times it breaks something inside me. People do not destroy their bodies all at once. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides to fall apart. It happens quietly. One small abandonment at a time. One ignored signal. One habit traded for comfort. One thing they told themselves they'd get back to tomorrow. And tomorrow never came. I have buried friends. I have watched neighbors go from walking 3 miles a day to needing someone to help them to the bathroom. I have seen strong men and capable women become dependent, confused, and afraid, not because of bad luck, but because of 6 specific things they kept doing to their bodies long after their bodies were begging them to stop. I'm going to tell you what those 6 things are. Stay with me until the very end, because number 6 is the one that nobody talks about, and it may be the one that is already happening to you right now. Here is what I need you to understand before we get to the list. The thing that takes people down is never what they think it is. It is not cancer. It is not a heart attack. It is not a stroke. Not at first. What kills people slowly is a pattern. A quiet, invisible, daily pattern of doing things that chip away at the body until one morning the body simply cannot carry the weight of all that damage anymore. I had a neighbor named Edna. She was 71 years old when she moved in 2 houses down from me. Walked every morning. Made her own meals. Sharp as a tack. I used to watch her from my porch and think, there goes a woman who is going to live forever. But Edna had 6 habits she refused to give up. Not dramatic ones. Small ones. The kind that seem harmless. The kind people do every single day without thinking. By the time she was 79, she was gone. Not dead. Just gone. A version of herself that had been slowly hollowed out by the very things she couldn't bring herself to stop. I don't want that to happen to you. You still have time. But you have to stop doing these things. And you have to stop now. Here is what we are going to cover. Number 1 is something almost every person over 60 does every single morning without realizing the damage it causes. Number 2 took a man I knew, a former athlete, down faster than anything his doctors had ever seen. Number 3 is going to surprise you because it is not what you think the problem is. Number 4 is about something people do in the name of being careful that is actually making them weaker every single day. Number 5 is the one your doctor probably has not mentioned, but needs to. And number 6 is the one I am most afraid to talk about, because when I say it, some of you are going to recognize yourself, and I need you to be ready to hear it. Before I get into the list, I want to say something to whoever found this video today. If you are watching this, you are the kind of person who still cares. Who still wants to fight for your health, your independence, your life. There are not as many of us as there used to be. So if this is the kind of conversation you want to keep having, subscribe. Not for me, but so that we can keep walking this road together. Now, let's get into it. Stop number 1. Stop sitting down within an hour of waking up. This is the one that almost everyone does. And almost no one connects it to what happens to them 5, 10 years down the road. I want to tell you about a man named Gerald. He was 68 years old, retired schoolteacher, used to coach track. When Gerald retired, he did what most people do. He started slow. Slept a little later. Had his coffee in the recliner. Watched the morning news. He told himself he'd earned it. Within 18 months, Gerald's lower back had stiffened to the point where his walk had become a shuffle. His circulation had slowed. He was getting dizzy when he stood up too fast. By 74, he had 2 falls, and after the second one, he never fully recovered. Here is what was happening in Gerald's body. When you sit immediately after waking, your muscles, which have already been still for 7 or 8 hours, get the signal that stillness is the new normal. Your circulation stays sluggish. Your spine compresses without ever getting the movement it needs to stay mobile. Your body, which is a deeply intelligent machine, begins to adapt to inactivity. And adaptation, at our age, is permanent faster than you think. The good news is this is one of the most reversible things on this list. You do not need a gym. You do not need equipment. You need 10 minutes of movement, walking, stretching, standing, before you sit down for the day. That is it. 10 minutes tells your body, we are still in this together. We are not done. But that is not all. Because what happens after you sit down matters just as much. Which brings me to number 2. Stop. Number 2. Stop eating until you're full. I know that sounds strange. I know everything you've been told your whole life was to finish your plate and eat 3 good meals. But I want to tell you what I watched happen to a man named Raymond. Raymond was 73 years old. Big man. Strong man. Spent his whole life working with his hands. He was proud of his appetite, said it was proof he was still living well. Every meal, Raymond ate until he was satisfied. Until he was full. Until there was nothing left on the plate. What Raymond did not know, and what nobody told him, was that his pancreas was not 45 anymore. His digestive system was working twice as hard to process what his body no longer needed in those quantities. His blood sugar was spiking and crashing. He was tired after every meal, which he took to mean he needed more rest, which meant less movement, which meant the tiredness got worse. By 78, Raymond had type 2 diabetes. By 81, the complications had begun. The body at 70, 80, 90 does not need what it needed at 40. The science is clear on this. Chronic overeating accelerates cellular aging, strains the organs that are already working harder to maintain themselves, and inflames a system that inflammation is already threatening. The Japanese have a practice called hara hachi bu. Stop eating when you are 80% full. The longest living populations on Earth all, in some form, practice this. The good news: you do not need to diet. You do not need to count anything. You simply need to pause, 10 minutes before the end of a meal, and ask your body if it actually needs the rest. More often than not, it will tell you it does not. Now I want to talk about number 3, because this one is going to feel counterintuitive, and I need you to stay with me. Stop. Number 3. Stop avoiding anything that is hard on your body. I told you this one would surprise you. Because everything we are told, rest, take it easy, don't overdo it, protect your joints, all of that seems reasonable. And some of it is. But I have watched it become an excuse that steals years from people. There was a woman in my church named Dorothy. She had a knee replacement at 67, and after that, her doctor told her to take it easy. Dorothy did. She took it very easy. She stopped climbing stairs when she didn't have to. Stopped carrying her own groceries. Stopped doing anything that caused any discomfort at all. By 75, Dorothy had lost so much muscle mass that her body could no longer stabilize her joints, the very joints she had been protecting. She fell in her kitchen getting a glass from a low cabinet. The hip she broke never healed cleanly. Here is the truth. The human body, your body, was built for stress. Controlled, intentional, graduated stress. Bone density is maintained by load. Muscle is maintained by resistance. Balance is maintained by challenge. When you protect yourself from all difficulty, you remove the very stimuli your body needs to stay strong. This is not a call to be reckless. It is a call to stop confusing protection with avoidance. Carry the bags. Take the stairs when you are able. Walk on uneven ground. Let the body work. It will thank you. If you are still with me, type the word "still" in the comments right now. I want to know you are here. Because number 4 is the one most people never connect to their own decline, and I do not want you to miss it. Stop. Number 4. Stop sleeping in total silence and darkness. This one comes from something I noticed, not from a doctor, but from decades of paying attention. I had a friend named Harriet. Wonderful woman. Meticulous. She had blackout curtains in every room, wore earplugs every night, and kept her bedroom so controlled that not a single sound or beam of light could enter after 9 o'clock. She told me it was the secret to her good sleep. Harriet began having trouble with her memory at 77. She became disoriented waking up, not knowing what time it was, sometimes not knowing what day. Her circadian rhythm, the biological clock that governs not just sleep but hormone release, immune function, and mood, had been so thoroughly isolated from natural light and sound cues that it had begun to drift. Your body was designed to wake with light, to sync with the rhythm of the natural world. When you cut off every cue, every sound of morning, every signal of dawn, your biology loses its anchor. The good news is simple. Let some morning light in. Leave a window cracked. Let the world back into your bedroom just a little. Your body knows what to do with those signals. It has known for 94 years. Trust it. Number 5 is the one your doctor should be talking about more than they are. Stop. Number 5. Stop treating loneliness like it is not a physical problem. I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking this is going to turn into a lecture about calling your children more. It is not. This is about your body. Your actual, physical body. I watched it happen to a man named Walter. He was 76. His wife had passed 2 years before. His children lived in different states. Walter told everyone he was fine. He told himself he was fine. He kept the house clean. He ate his meals. He watched his programs. But Walter stopped having conversations. Real ones. Not phone calls about logistics, actual back and forth, the kind where you forget what time it is. And without that, something changed in him that I can only describe as a dimming. By 80, Walter's blood pressure had climbed despite his medication. His inflammation markers, according to his doctor, were those of a man 10 years older. He was sleeping 12 hours a day and still tired. The science now confirms what I observed in Walter. Loneliness raises cortisol. It suppresses the immune system. It accelerates cognitive decline. It inflames the cardiovascular system. Social connection is not a comfort. It is a biological requirement as real as water, as real as sleep. The good news: connection is available to you right now. Today. A neighbor. A church. A class. Even this conversation, matters more than you know. But the last one. Number 6. I have been saving this for the end, because it requires you to be honest with yourself in a way that the first 5 did not. Stop. Number 6. Stop telling yourself there is still plenty of time. I said this one was the hardest to hear. I meant it. 60 years ago, a young woman sat across from me at a kitchen table. She was 32 years old. Full of plans. She wanted to travel. She wanted to write. She wanted to stop eating the way she ate, start moving the way she meant to move, have the conversations she kept putting off. That woman was me. I kept a journal for most of my life. I found it a few years ago, a particular entry from when I was 58 years old. I wrote, "I'll get serious about my health when things settle down a bit." I was 58 years old. And I was still waiting for things to settle down. The cruelest thing that time does is move at the same pace whether you are paying attention or not. Every year you wait to take care of your body is a year your body has been carrying that weight without your help. I am 94. I have watched more people than I can count spend their final decade recovering, not from disease, but from decades of postponement. I have also watched people in their 70s and 80s reverse things they were told were permanent. Get back strength they thought was gone. Reclaim independence they had quietly surrendered. The difference was not their age. It was the moment they stopped believing the lie that there would be a better time. There will not be a better time. There is only now. I am not telling you these 6 things to frighten you. I am telling you because I have stood where you are standing, and I know what it costs to ignore them, and I know what is possible when you don't. Sit less in the morning. Eat a little less at every meal. Do not confuse protection with avoidance. Let the world back into your bedroom. Find someone to talk to, really talk to. And stop waiting for a better time that is never going to come. These are not complicated things. They do not require money. They do not require a doctor's prescription. They require only that you decide your body deserves the same attention you have given everything and everyone else in your life. You are still here. That matters. And so does what you do with the time you have left. If something in this video reached you, if you saw yourself in any of these stories, share it with someone you love. Not because I need the views. Because there is someone in your life who needs to hear this and probably won't hear it from their doctor. And if you want to keep having this kind of honest conversation, about living, about the body, about what we know now that we wish we had known sooner, subscribe. Come back. Bring someone with you. We are all just trying to leave this place a little better than we found it. Thank you for staying until the end.